Okay, so first we're going to open up an eliminator. Pop open the box. Inside is the two halves of the perch. Little cover there on the top. It's actually pretty easy to put together. Just pull the lid off, and there's a little hook that attaches thusly like that, like so. You want to use the round perch because it comes in two pieces. Now to adjust the perches, should you want to, you unscrew the winglet at the bottom. And when the screw is loose, you can screw the screws in all the way, and that'll only allow small birds to use it. If you screw it out farther, that'll only allow big birds to use it. The main thing you want to remember is whatever setting you use, is you want to remember to reclose the winglet at the bottom. If that winglet gets loose, every time a bird sits on it, it'll turn a little bit, and turn a little bit, and turn a little bit, and eventually possibly fall out. If you're putting on the ring perch, which most people do, you'll want to loosen this up, screw all pieces in, you snap the two halves of the ring perch together. Set the feeder down on it, and there are holes in the ring perch that correspond with the perches. You want to try and make it as even as possible with the first two. Just unscrew them so that they join up with the holes, and then you can kind of go around with the other perches. And then once everything's all in place, you tighten down the winglet at the bottom, and your ring perch is all ready to go. How to adjust the tension on it? The Eliminator comes factory adjusted for eastern gray squirrels, so it usually does not need to be adjusted, but should you desire to make it Douglas squirrel-proof or have some other purpose for it, or it comes out of adjustment over time, you simply turn this little piece on the inside of the feeder, and as you can see, there's a plus and a minus in yellow ink on the center of the little clear glass piece that fronts the spring, and you turn it in the direction more tension for plus, and that tightens the tension for a heavier animal. Minus loosens the tension for a lighter animal to trigger it. And generally speaking, as I say, it comes factory adjusted. It has three different little lines that are probably visible here. This little red piece moves up and down depending on it. When the red piece moves down, it means the tension's getting higher. When the red piece moves up, it means the tension's getting lower. So you can sometimes work with that. Generally, I would use fairly small increments to adjust it because it doesn't usually change very much. You wouldn't really want to change it substantially from its factory setting because its factory setting is pretty darn close to whatever they should be. Okay. Disassembling the Eliminator. First thing you do is loosen the lid as if you were filling it, but you move the yellow piece back, and there's a hook. You unhook the hook from its thing, and that frees up the lid and simply go away. And then on the inside, in one of the windows, you'll see there's a little tab on opposite sides. There's only two of them, and you press them in. And that makes the whole feeder come apart. There's the various pieces. This is the bottom. This is a good way to clean it. It does have vents in the bottom that help keep the seed from molding. Usually you can just hose everything out, or use a faucet or whatever to wash this out and not have to disassemble it anymore. We generally recommend that you don't bother to disassemble it anymore, just because most of the time you can get things pretty clean just from this level of disassembly. This just slides off. You can pretty much run the hose inside of these. It has plenty of room, like I say, hose or a faucet or something like that. Pretty easy to scrub out. We generally don't recommend opening the feeder up anymore. You can. Should you want to do so, you can unscrew the winglet on the bottom. It will loosen the perches, but then the whole bottom piece comes off. That works fine too. You can get it. You just want to make sure when you put it back together, you put it all back together in the right order. Okay, to put the feeder back together, this piece just slides over. It actually goes there, and you'll notice that there's a little yellow arrow here. You also notice that there's some little yellow painted pieces right here. Those parts correspond. You want to be very careful to make sure that they do align with each other. when you put the feeder together. So you want to make sure that you're putting it together in the orientation so that that yellow arrow and the paint match. It should just snap together like so. If it does not snap together, don't force it, because it means something is misaligned, and once you force it, it's really hard to get it back apart. So you want to be very careful with that. It should snap together very easily. Putting the lid back on is really pretty easy. It has a little pin that the hook attaches to, and you just slide the little piece right down here, and that keeps the lid from coming loose. Give it a quarter turn, and you're all adjusted, and you're back together and ready to go. It has mostly metal parts, so the squirrels can't chew on it. Even the plastic pieces are really large in diameter, and they're very chew-resistant plastic, so it's a very durable feeder. It is guaranteed for life, has a lifetime warranty on all the parts. Wild Birds Unlimited certainly carries the pieces. It is something that you can bet is guaranteed for life. Once you buy it, you will not need to buy another feeder, because if it ever needs work, you will fix it. So as far as just some different features that it has, it holds 3.5 quarts capacity, so quite a bit of seed fits inside of it. The lid is captive, so you don't lose the lid or anything like that. You can just pour the seed directly in the top. And other than removing labels, your feeder is ready to use at that point.